The sky didn't look normal that morning. It wasn't stormy. It wasn't clear either. It was that strange orange-gold color, like the sun couldn't decide whether to rise or hide. Daniel noticed it first while pouring his coffee. He stood still by the kitchen window, mug halfway to his lips. Why does the sky look like that? No thunder, no rain, just thick clouds, rolling slow, heavy, almost alive. The news on the TV kept talking in the background. Tensions rising overseas, another cyber attack, coastal evacuations, markets crashing again. Same stuff every day. War, disaster, confusion. After a while, you stop reacting. It just becomes noise. Daniel muted the TV and grabbed his jacket. Another normal day, he thought. At least that's what it was supposed to be. Downtown Chicago was louder than usual. Sirens somewhere far away, helicopters circling, people arguing outside a gas station because fuel prices had doubled overnight. A man shouted into his phone. They said the power grid might fail again. Everyone looked tired, not sleepy tired, soul tired, like the whole country hadn't rested in years. Daniel worked at a small hardware store, nothing fancy, just shelves, tools, and regular customers. But even there, something felt off. By noon, 3 people had come in asking for emergency supplies, flashlights, batteries, canned food. One lady bought 5 cases of water. He laughed nervously. Planning a camping trip? She didn't smile. They're saying something big is coming, she whispered. What kind of big? She shook her head. No one really knows, but my church says we're close, real close. He didn't ask more. People had been saying that forever. Earthquakes, wars, floods, pandemics. Every generation thought it was the end. So he brushed it off. Around 3 p.m., his phone buzzed. Message from his sister. Have you seen what's happening online? Churches everywhere are praying today. Something feels weird. He typed back, relax, it's probably nothing. But even as he hit send, his chest felt tight, like his body didn't believe his own words. Later that evening, traffic froze, completely stopped. Not slow, stopped. Cars everywhere, horns, people stepping out. Up ahead, smoke rising near the skyline. Some kind of explosion. No one knew what happened. Rumors spread fast. Terror attack, no power plant failure, no cyber war, no government cover-up. Truth didn't matter anymore. Fear did. Daniel leaned against his car and looked up. The clouds were thicker now, darker, and yet there was this strange light behind them. Not lightning, not sunset, just glowing, golden, warm, but unsettling, like something enormous was moving above the sky itself. That night he couldn't sleep. TV channels were chaos, wars overseas escalating, major storms hitting 3 states at once, financial collapse alerts, and everywhere online, pastors preaching, people quoting scripture, birth pains, signs of the times, be ready. He remembered something his grandmother used to say when he was a kid. Before Jesus comes back, the world won't just be bad, it'll feel wrong, like everything is out of place. Back then he laughed. Now it didn't feel funny. Around midnight, the power flickered, once, twice, then came back. The house was silent, too silent. No traffic, no distant music, nothing. Daniel walked outside onto the porch. Neighbors were standing outside too, everyone looking up, nobody talking. The clouds were swirling slowly, like a giant spiral, and that golden light brighter now, almost like dawn, but it was the middle of the night. A little girl across the street asked her mom, "Why does the sky look like it's opening?" Her mom didn't answer. She just held her tighter. Somewhere far away, a low sound echoed, deep, long. Not thunder, not sirens, something else, something that didn't sound earthly. He felt it more than heard it, like it vibrated through his chest, through the ground, through the air. People started whispering, "What is that? Do you hear that? Is that coming from the sky?" His heart started racing for no reason, or maybe for every reason. Memories flooded his mind, all the sermons he ignored, all the times someone invited him to church, all the nights he said, "I'll get right with God later." Later suddenly felt very small, very fragile, very close to running out. The sound grew louder, longer, almost like a trumpet, and the clouds above the city began to split just a little, a thin line of light breaking through, spreading wider, brighter, washing over the buildings and streets as people shielded their eyes, and Daniel stood frozen, unable to move, unable to look away, feeling like something far bigger than war or disaster or politics was finally stepping into history itself. And right there in that glowing sky, just beyond the light, something or someone was beginning to take shape.
The shape in the sky didn't move fast, it didn't rush, it just formed, slowly, like light itself was being sculpted into something living. Daniel blinked hard, thinking maybe his eyes were playing tricks on him. Too much news, too little sleep, too much fear. But when he opened them again, it was still there, brighter, clearer. The golden light poured down through the clouds like giant curtains opening on a stage. Except this wasn't a show. This was real, too real. The entire street had gone silent. No cars, no dogs barking. Even the wind felt like it had stopped breathing. It was the kind of silence that presses against your ears, heavy, sacred, terrifying. Someone behind him whispered, Is that lightning?" Another voice said, "No, lightning doesn't glow like that." A man dropped his phone. It hit the pavement and shattered. He didn't even look down. Nobody cared about phones anymore. Nobody cared about anything small anymore, because whatever was happening up there was bigger than everything. Daniel's heart was pounding so hard he could hear it. Thump, thump, thump. His hands were shaking, not from cold, from something deeper. Instinct, like his body recognized something ancient, something powerful, something holy. The clouds kept folding back, rolling away from the center, like doors opening. And the light inside, it wasn't harsh, it wasn't blinding. It was warm, beautiful, almost peaceful. And that's what scared him the most, because disasters aren't beautiful. War isn't beautiful. Explosions aren't beautiful. But this looked like hope, and yet everyone was afraid. Sirens suddenly screamed in the distance, police cars racing, helicopters returning. Somebody yelled, "Get inside!" But nobody moved. Nobody could. It felt like gravity itself had changed, like the sky had become the only thing that mattered. Daniel looked around. His neighbor, Mike, tough guy, ex-military, never scared of anything, had tears in his eyes, just staring upward, mouth slightly open, like a child, like he finally understood something he'd ignored his whole life. Across the street, an older woman dropped to her knees and started praying out loud. Not quiet prayer, loud, desperate. "Jesus, please, please!" Her voice cracked. Others joined, some crying, some shouting, some just frozen, and some laughing nervously, trying to convince themselves it was nothing. "It's just weather. It's just the government testing something. It's drones or satellites." But their voices sounded fake, forced, like they didn't even believe themselves. Daniel's phone buzzed again. He almost forgot he had it. Dozens of notifications, texts, missed calls, news alerts exploding. He opened one live stream. New York, same sky, same light. He switched. Texas, same thing. California, same. The entire country, all seeing it, all at once. One reporter was shouting into the camera, voice shaking. "We've never seen atmospheric activity like this. Communications are failing, flights grounded, churches filling up across the city. People are saying this is biblical." The stream cut out, just static, then black, no signal. His phone went dead, battery full, but dead, like something had shut everything down. That deep sound came again, longer this time, stronger, not outside, inside, like it echoed through his bones, like the sky itself was calling. Daniel swallowed hard. He suddenly remembered something from Sunday school, something he hadn't thought about in 20 years. Every knee will bow. The words hit him like a punch, because without anyone telling them to, people were already kneeling, all over the street, just dropping, like their legs couldn't hold them anymore, like standing felt wrong, like something greater had entered the room and you didn't dare stay upright. Even Daniel felt it, that pull, that weight, his knees trembling. Part of him wanted to run inside, lock the door, hide under the bed like a kid during a storm. But another part, a deeper part, knew hiding wouldn't change anything. If this was really what he thought it was, there was nowhere to hide. The light grew wider, stretching across the entire sky now, buildings glowing gold, windows reflecting fire-like colors, shadows disappearing. Everything looked unreal, like the world had stepped into another dimension. Mike whispered beside him, "My grandma used to talk about this." Daniel didn't answer. He couldn't. His throat was tight. Mike continued, voice barely audible. "She said before the Lord comes, there will be signs, wars, disasters, lies everywhere, people hating each other." Daniel thought about the last few years, the anger, the chaos, the division, families fighting, churches arguing, truth feeling impossible to find. It all suddenly lined up, like puzzle pieces snapping together, too perfectly, too clearly. The clouds opened just a little more, and for a second, Daniel thought he saw movement inside the light. Not lightning, not smoke, something else. Figures, shadows, shapes moving upward, not falling, rising, like silhouettes being pulled into the sky. His breath stopped. "Do you see that?" someone gasped. More people pointed, crying now, shouting names. "Sarah! Dad! Where are you going?" Voices cracking, fear spreading faster than fire. Daniel's chest tightened again, because deep down, deep down, he knew this wasn't just weather, wasn't politics, wasn't coincidence. This felt like the moment history had been moving towards forever, like the clock of the world had finally struck the hour. And standing there under that impossible golden sky, with the sound vibrating through the air and the light growing stronger by the second, Daniel felt something he hadn't felt since he was a little kid sitting in church beside his grandmother. A quiet, terrifying realization that whatever was happening above them wasn't just coming closer, it was already here.
It was already here. Daniel didn't realize he was crying until a tear slid down his cheek. He wiped it fast, almost embarrassed. But when he looked around, everyone else was crying too. Not loud sobbing, just silent tears, like something inside them had finally broken open. The sky kept glowing brighter, not hurting the eyes, just overwhelming, like standing too close to a fire you couldn't step away from. Mike grabbed Daniel's arm. His voice shook. What if this is it?" Daniel didn't answer, because for the first time in his life, he didn't have an argument, didn't have a joke, didn't have a logical explanation. All those maybe later thoughts,
All those "I'll fix my life someday" promises, they suddenly felt stupid, tiny, meaningless. Someday had just run out. A woman screamed from the other side of the street. Not fear, not pain, shock. "My husband!" Daniel turned. Her husband had been standing right next to her seconds ago. Now, empty space. Just his jacket lying on the ground, like he'd stepped out of reality. The crowd froze. Someone whispered, "Where did he go?" Another voice cracked, "That's the third person." Then it started happening faster. A kid's bike fell over with nobody riding it. A car rolled slowly forward because the driver's seat was suddenly empty. Phones dropped, coffee cups hit the pavement. People disappearing. Not exploding, not running, just gone. Like the air had swallowed them, like they were never there. And every time someone vanished, the sky flashed brighter, like a pulse, like a heartbeat. Panic broke loose. Some people ran, some screamed names, some collapsed and prayed. Others stared upward, hands lifted, faces glowing in that golden light. Daniel's breathing got shallow. His mind raced. Why them? Why not him? Was he ready? Had he ever really believed or just pretended? Every memory rushed back. All the times he ignored that small voice inside. All the nights he said, "I'll get serious tomorrow." All the chances he wasted. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. But tomorrow wasn't promised anymore. Mike suddenly dropped to his knees, right there on the asphalt. Didn't care who saw, didn't care about pride. "God, I'm sorry for everything." His tough guy voice cracked like glass. Daniel had never seen him like this, never. And something inside Daniel snapped too. All the walls, all the excuses, gone. He felt small, so small, like a grain of sand under an infinite sky. He slowly knelt beside Mike, hands shaking, didn't even know what words to say. So he just whispered, "Jesus, if you're really there, I'm listening." The moment the words left his mouth, the deep sound returned, stronger than ever. Not scary this time, powerful. Like a trumpet rolling across the world, like thunder mixed with music, like heaven itself calling out. Every head lifted, every heart pounding. The light above split open completely. No more clouds, just brilliance, pure, endless, alive. And inside that light, a shape, clear now, radiant. Not fire, not lightning, something far greater. A presence that made everything else feel small. Buildings, cities, nations, all tiny, all temporary. But this felt eternal, unshakable, holy. Daniel couldn't breathe, couldn't look away. It felt like being seen completely. Every mistake, every secret, every thought, nothing hidden. Yet instead of fear, there was warmth, like being known and still loved. Around him, people kept disappearing, one by one, quietly, peacefully, faces changing from fear to calm, to relief, like they were finally going home. Mike gripped Daniel's sleeve, tears running freely. "If this is really him, I don't want to miss it." Daniel nodded. Neither did he. Not anymore, not after everything. The world suddenly felt temporary, like a stage set about to be cleared. All the money, all the stress, all the fights, meaningless. The only thing that mattered now was him. The light stretched lower, closer, wrapping the street in gold. Wind swirling upward instead of down, like gravity had reversed, like the sky was pulling instead of the earth. He felt it on his skin, warm, gentle, calling. His heart beat slower, calmer. For the first time all day, peace, real peace, not fake, not forced, deep, certain, like coming home after being lost for years. He closed his eyes, whispered one last time, "I'm ready."
and as the sound of that heavenly trumpet filled the air, and the golden light surrounded everything, and the noise of the world faded into silence, Daniel felt the ground loosen beneath his feet, the weight of fear disappear, and the pull upward grow stronger, brighter, closer, until the chaos of the city, the sirens, the shouting, the skyline itself all blurred into that endless light. And for the first time in his life, he wasn't afraid of what was coming next, because whatever waited beyond that brilliance wasn't judgment or darkness, but something far greater, something promised, something eternal. And he let go completely as the sky opened wide and the world below slipped away.